friends, I have a special project I would like to share with you. It's a crochet crucifix made with cotton crochet thread. I saw a picture about a year and a half or so ago online somewhere, and I said, wow. I searched high and low everywhere I could think of to try to find a pattern, and I came up empty-handed. So that didn't really stop me. I thought, I want to make this. So after studying, guessing, and a little more brain work, this is some of the brain work here. Graph paper and putting stitches. I came up with something, and I thought, how can I share it with people? I do have a pattern, but because it's inspiration from a photo, I just don't feel comfortable sharing a written version of it with anyone. But how about a crochet along? So if you're game, I think it's going to consist of maybe 4 parts. Could be an hour or so, hour and a half long each part. Let me tell you about the project. So I wouldn't say it's not for a beginner, but it's not really that difficult either. You just kind of need to understand the structure of a stitch and have a little bit of patience. The reason why I say patience is when you work with this kind of thread, it twists a lot of twisting. You don't have a lot to hold on to, and you really need to make sure you're going in the right places, really like anything else. But it's a little tedious, but I think the end result is kind of cool. This one measures about 17.5 inches in width and about 21.5 inches long. I think in the end, what I might do is I'll block it and maybe do a fabric stiffener. And then I thought maybe, who knows, maybe you could either frame it or maybe a dowel, put a dowel through it. So I haven't figured that part out yet. This was my test piece. This was made with just a regular, medium weight, like a sugars and cream yarn, fully cotton. So this one is a lot bigger. This one measures about 29 inches wide and about 3 feet. About 3 feet tall. It's a little big, so that's why I went smaller and I created this. So anyways, I will give some helpful hints, and there'll be some photos, and I think you like it. So come on along. Okay, a couple of helpful hints for making this project. The project works from the bottom to the top. I'm not sure if this is all the way in the screen. So row 1 through 78. I urge you to take your time and make sure when you insert your hook, you go through both loops of that previous stitch. And I know I say this a lot of times in the videos, but the chain 3 is a stitch. So when you're coming back around, don't forget that 3rd loop is where you make your last double crochet. And then most of the rows don't have a stitch count. I didn't find it necessary because, as you can see, everything lines up. Your chain 2 skip 2 1 DC always ends up in a previous one. It doesn't end in a chain 2 space. If you find that happening, that means you either counted wrong or there's some sort of a mistake going on. But I did do a stitch count for a couple of rows down in here where I thought it would be helpful. Let's see. The extended doubles, I think maybe the first one we got to, I don't know if I did a a good enough job explaining it. So I did a separate tutorial. I used like a medium weight acrylic yarn because it's easier to manage, and do an explanation on how to do that. And about the yarn. So this is 100% cotton. It is a lace type of a cotton. So when I measured it, I got 33 reps per inch. And I used a 2.0 millimeter hook. I think I used about 155 yards altogether. So that is pretty much it.